Hey you guys, I am Pavani J. You guys know who I am. What's happening? So tonight we got Winding Down, Late Night Conversation. Again, I'm Pavani J, CEO and founder of Exquisite PR Firm. And I am also the host of Exquisite Conversation. Comes on Thursday nights. And then I'm also the host of Winding Down, Late Night Conversation. You guys know how we do it here. We got someone that's awesome. We got Nick Lavelle here. He's rocking things out. I'm going to let the manager of the music industry, our department at Exquisite PR Firm, kind of roll things out there because he knows what he's doing. So I'm going to tell you guys, to the left of me, I have
none other than King Jacob, man. Yours truly, Kennard Media LLC, Kennard Music Management LLC, COO of Exquisite PR Firm, and it's the $1 million voice, your baby mama's favorite radio host in the building.
Like that.
And to the bottom of me,
I'm Ashley Marie. I work with the Exquisite PR Firm. I am out here on the East Coast. And then to the left of me, we have
Nick Lavelle, Detroit song, trap R&B singer, songwriter, business, owner, serial entrepreneur, making moves out here in the Atlanta area.
What's happening? We were waiting on you. We've been waiting on you all week long. I have been very, very, very excited to see you because I know that you're a multi entrepreneur. Like, you do all kind of stuff. You help people with other businesses, start other businesses. You got your hands in a little bit of everything. And sorry for everyone who thought he was on tour. He wasn't. So he's free tonight to kick it with us and chill. We're not invading on his space or anything. So tell us a little bit about yourself. What's going on?
So, like I said, Nick Lavelle. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. Been doing music for, I would say, a very long time, But I feel like I'm finally starting to scratch the surface, which is a blessing because when you're doing things like this, when you're doing something that you love, it's kind of like, you're going to keep investing money, time, effort, blood, sweat, and tears. And you're really not, you're never going to give up on it because it's something that you enjoy, So it's like, it's just a great vibe. Graduated from Western Michigan University, degree in marketing, finance, minor in psychology. I'm a father of 4. And I'm involved in my children's life a lot. Kids play sports. They're in acting. They're in gymnastics, swimming. My children, the ones that's in grade school, good grades, just very talented children. So I'm very active in that aspect. I just became co-owner of a club here in Atlanta. We're getting it pretty much open soon. We're aiming for like the March area, the March, April-ish area, that, down in Midtown. But as far as music, got a lot going on, getting ready to go on tour. Vibes on Vibes tour. Make sure y'all grab them tickets. You can tuning in, coming to a city near you. But that's with Eric Bellinger, Sammy, a couple of dope artists around the country that's been making some noise. Just finished up the Millennium Tour. So I just been around the block, making moves with this music stuff. Just trying to find my way.
Absolutely. Okay. That's real interesting. You got a lot going on. I'm interested in the fact that you're embezzled and indulgent in your children's lives the way you are. I have children too that they're adults now, believe it or not. But
yeah, I did not believe that. I thought you was in your 20s.
No, I'm super grown.
Grown are you?
No, I'm super grown, like old lady grown. I just don't look like it by the grace of God. Thank you, Jesus. Black
They say black don't crack unless
Black
you do
don't
crack.
crack. Everybody just ain't got it. You guys are funny. So I know about those days when you're trying to work really hard, get where you're trying to get to, and chase your dreams at the same time, but at the same time make an impact on their lives, you know. So how do they feel about daddy being like Nick Lavelle? Do they really know yet?
They love it. They love it because they're seeing it. My daughter, she's the one that really sees it the most because she's been there from the beginning. She's been there before I did music. My daughter, I had her in like I had ended up having her in college. So it was like I was 21, and I remember going to having class, and my professor, he was a black professor, and he was fairly young too, and he it's so crazy because I failed this class. This is my second time taking this class. And he like, I see a lot of potential in you, but it's like you're so unfocused. And then I pop up with a baby. He said, how you gonna bring a baby to class? But he said, come on, let's go. Brought me in class. He set my daughter, I remember this, like he set my daughter on the desk while he's teaching in the 200 class capacity. And it was crazy. It was like, so she's been there and she's grown with me, even in my young, like my beginning adult ages, and just learning stuff with me. She's always been on the scene, always been on board, not shy. She does music. We're working on her song. We actually have a video shoot set up for her this week. So while I'm got these little 2 weeks before a tour, I'm trying to handle as much stuff with her. So once I'm gone for 2 months, she on the go. But even dealing with picking her up from school, I pull up. I be in my vet some days. Sometimes I pull up in a Range Rover. They be looking like, damn. And all the kids be looking like, because I come with the top down in the summer, so they be like, what? She hop in the car, all the kids, the teachers, like, what kind of car? It be funny though. And they know some stuff, because some kids, parents know who I am. So then it's like they're telling, no, her dad he's this guy. They play my music, and some of the kids at the school knows my song. So it's definitely like a vibe. For sure, especially, and I can only imagine how she handles it. But she does well. My daughter, she's so unique, man. She's like, she just, no, that's my dog.
You see a lot of you in her. So tell me about your younger years. You're growing up.
I think
Detroit. So Detroit is so we hear about Detroit,
Oh yeah, definitely. Detroit, like my upbringing. I grew up in a household with my mom and my stepdad. Who raised me, and I was me, my sister, and brother. So I had I would say we were like a structured family. We did a lot of stuff. I played sports, so that was really my thing. I did a lot of stuff that just normal kids do. I never was into the streets. I'm not in a gang. I'm not. I was from the hood, but I wasn't in the hood. My parents kind of kept me out of it. And, I appreciate it. At the end of the day, I don't try to portray something that I'm not. I'm cool and comfortable who I am. I'm a man first, and I'm a provider, and I'm a leader. So at the end of the day, it panned out for me. And like I said, I had my regular run-ins. I fought. I played sports. I chased the girls. I did talent shows and stuff like that. I didn't know I wanted to do music. I just love singing. I love rapping. So, I just always stayed tapped in that realm. And then as I got to high school, I got more into sports, more into girls. And then eventually, went to college, tried to play sports in college. Didn't work out. But God had another plan for me. So, was what it was.
So you spiritual and everything. That's what's up. That's what's up. And the fact that you weren't in the streets. Some people feel like they gotta fit in. They have to do certain things, or they, they don't make it or they won't make it. But to know that you're just that average football kind of guy.
And it's tough though.
Normal things. Did the normal things that the normal teenagers do.
Yeah.
You have a love for money. When did you figure out that you had a love and a passion, not only for music, but just to be an entrepreneur? Or have you had the regular 9 to 5 like some people have?
Yeah, see, that's what prompted a lot of things about me. Is it was a lot of things I didn't want to do after doing them. I didn't want to be stuck doing this the rest of my life. I said, no, I don't want to do this. I hate listening to people in regards of in a command. It's like I like working with people. Like what you said, no, these are my employees. This is my family. These are my partners. You know, that's what I like. I like stuff in that realm. And it's crazy because, like I said, I don't like the people that work for me went and got master's degrees and got doctors, and they work for me. So I was like, shit, it don't matter how stuff pans out. I just knew I didn't want to be a person that you couldn't pay me enough money to sit on these dreams. You couldn't pay me enough money to sit on these goals. It was over, you know, and I've seen that time after time, getting into it with different management at different jobs. And a lot of times we be working these jobs that's not going in the direction of our career, but we're doing it because we're trying to bring in income. And it's like, I didn't want to be that. I said, I would rather work for free and do something I love and eventually make some money before I just stay just doing this and it's not getting me anywhere. So that was the breaking point for me after working a couple of jobs. I just couldn't do it. And then like for music, where I became or drew the passion and the love for it is, like I said, it's always been there. Like I always wanted to do something in entertainment, whether it was acting, modeling, or music or rapping. And when I got to college, I was making a conscious effort of trying to do it. And I found small success, but it was up and down. Because the thing is about music is everyone's not gonna like what you put out. And that's just anything in life in general. Everyone's not gonna like you. So,
Absolutely.
you know, I started off as a party promoter in college. I threw some of the biggest events in the state of Michigan, and I collabed with other promoters around the state and did events at other colleges. And then I was just doing music on the side, but in the midst of all that, I was building relationships with hosts and DJs across the state, and even some in Chicago as well, because my college was 2 hours it was 2 hours from Chicago and 2 hours from Detroit. So I just, made stuff shake. No, did she get up out of here?
Nah, she should be back. Go to keep talking. She'll be back. Go ahead.
Okay, bad. Yeah. So yeah, after doing that,
I'm about to burn the house down, y'all. I'm sorry.
Oh Lord. You said what happened?
I was cooking. I forgot.
Hey, Auntie.
I forgot. And I was like, what the? And I heard something sizzling. The fire.
Oh no. The noodles on fire.
That's okay. It's okay. Keep
Auntie
going. I'm sorry. I didn't want to like the screen out, you guys. That's why I say this is Winding Down Late Night Conversation. Ain't no telling what's going to happen.
I see. Hey, I'm gonna check. Hey, y'all turn the lights.
Look, I was I heard you say, where did she go? And I'm like, I had to make that was one of those quick decisions in life that you have to make.
Yeah.
Like stay still or turn the stove, turn the fire down. So
I feel you on that. Now you good, baby.
Finish. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Yeah. So like I said, just pretty much, I built a lot of relationships with a bunch of promoters across the state and DJs. So eventually, once I started transitioning to doing music, I kind of had a lot of people, a lot of contacts to help push the records and stuff like that. So I eventually got into that. And like everybody, when you first start doing music, everyone want to move to Atlanta. I'm gonna move to Atlanta. I'm about to try to get on, about to work with it, because you hear so much positive stuff about the music industry, especially out of Atlanta, because of how the artists work together. And then when you come down here, you see the real shit that's going on. So you're like, oh, it's not what it looks like. But for the most part, it's still a better situation than a lot of other cities. So came down to the A, went through a lot of struggles. Because just mentally wasn't prepared for what Atlanta, had. And I ended up moving back to Michigan and regrouping, getting my mind right, getting my bag up, and just getting myself a little bit more structured. So, beyond that, it is what it is now. So, I'm back in the building. Facts. So
people already on the screen. People are already chiming in. You got people coming in. You got people coming in talking to you.
A word.
Jacob, go ahead and handle that. You can read it if you want to, and respond.
Yeah, I see that.
What's up, Lily? Yeah. Lily, what's up, man? What's good? We're glad you tuned in, man. It is facts. Atlanta is some smoking mirrors in the A, but one thing about getting your music out in the A, man, if I would connect anybody in the A it's got to be with DJ T Rock. DJ T Rock, Magic City. So if your music get broken in the script club, you own 100%, 100%. You know, if they making it rain and she tossing it up to your music, you know, you gonna get on, bro. And that's just how it is. That's how Mike Jones got on. That's how Paul Wall got on. That's how Slim Thug got on. That's how Tila got on. That's actually how Twister got on in Chicago. Because in Atlanta, they was playing his music in the script club. And so once it hit Atlanta, came back to Chicago, hit Detroit, hit New York.
Mm-hmm.
Then they intertwined his music with the Go-Go in DC. So it was a rap. You know what I mean? So, but go ahead and continue, Nick.
No, y'all said it all right there. I don't. So what I say is that when it comes to like, all right, so we look at smoke and mirrors. This is the reality. When it comes to music, everybody, no matter where you at, it's all smoke and mirrors because what people buy into are images. People buy into facades. People buy into that because that's their reality. That's the projected reality from society is. What does success mean? What does success look like? When you look at success, what does it look like? It looks like the glitz and glamour. It looks like the chains, the big house, the cars, the fresh clothes, the pretty women around you, popping bottles in the club, traveling across the country. That's what success looks like for 90% of the consumers nowadays. Success for us is different. You know, we're a little bit older, so our values are different. And as you get older, you value things differently than what a normal person would or a younger individual. So you have to keep up, or you have to play this game or this role when you're in the music industry in order to find balance. You can still be who you are. I feel you can still be transparent, but you have to know how to play the game with these people. You know what I mean? And I think that's where the smoke and mirrors aspect is very, very, it's very heavy for the most part.
Right. So upon that, so I have a question that I'm gonna ask for the audience. You know, who is Nick Lavelle?
Who's burnt the house
You
down?
know,
So be quiet.
who is Nick? Who is Nick? You know, I want to know who you are. When I say who
Okay.
you are, I want to know who you are on the music aspect. I want to know who you are on the entrepreneur aspect, because with the entrepreneur aspect, I see you fix credit and I see you help people get them loans for 20K to 30K. Yeah, bro, you about their business. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So so it's one thing with music, but when you can be about that corporate structure of business to help people increase their value in the marketplace, that's a whole different aspect. So if you can
Absolutely.
Yeah.
chime in on that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Definitely. So how can I put it? So the thing is, once again, life is about balances. Life is about figuring out how to leverage things. You know what I mean? Figuring out what you bring to the table. If you're not useful, you are useless. That's always been my motto.
Okay.
When people say, "Oh, I don't want people using me," let me tell you something. When you a person that can be used, that means you hold value. When motherfuckers can use you, you hold value. So you have to leverage that value. How do you make money off that value? So I try to figure out things about people when I meet them or people that I'm cool with and see where are their attributes. What are they good at? How do you turn this into passive income? You know what I mean? That's just what it comes down to. But the thing is, the reason I get into the credit aspect, into the business credit and all that, is because I try to inform people you can get whatever you want out of life if you just take the little couple steps, the little jab steps to make sure your shit on point. If you make sure your credit is good, you know what I mean? And a lot of things, it's not our fault. But I don't like to live by that. I don't like, oh, I didn't learn that, so it ain't my fault. No, knowledge is ultimately about seeking it and figuring it out. You may not be taught something. You may not be taught it. But at the end of the day, that don't mean that you can't find out the information. So, a lot of my issues that I dealt with in life were, through experiences. So I learned about credit through fuck ups. I fucked my credit up. So when you fuck credit up, then you figure out how to fix it through trial and error. I took bits and pieces from different seminars I went to and different mentors I had over the years and learning different things, just connecting with different people. And once I did that, then I figured out how to create an income for myself and how to fix other people's credit or put people in direction. Because it's not necessarily that we fix the credit, we teach about it. Because anybody can tell you, oh, we fix credit. I like to teach people, or I like to have like the people that work for me, I like to have them teach the clients. I'll bring people in, I teach them this. Now, when we turn it into the music aspect, I show people how to structure their business, how to start an entertainment company or a marketing company, sign yourself to your own label, make everything go through your company, through your LLC, put things in your business name, protect yourself. Anything can happen to you, but if something happens to the business, you can always get rid of that motherfucker, start another. But and get rid of yourself, goddammit. So it's just little things that I try to put people hip to. I look at it like the urban, the hood, you know what I'm saying, the hood professor. Because we're not taught these things in our neighborhoods, but they are taught these things in the more suburban areas. Those aren't in our curriculum. I say you can take my degree back, just teach me about credit and financial literacy and how to stabilize myself and how to figure out how to work for myself. I don't give a fuck about the Pythagorean theorem and my fucking A squared plus B squared. I don't care about that shit. I've never used it in my life. Periodic table, none of that shit. Just teach me. Now, things I think history is important. Um, shit, like I said, just figuring out those things, man. And that's how I kind of like tied a lot of stuff together for the most part, especially with these artists. Artists want to get signed. Artists complain about not having money for their careers. Well, I say, listen, the easiest thing you can do is you're 18, build your credit up. You build your credit up in 6 months, you'll be able to get a business loan or you'll be able to get a personal loan. $20,000 credit card. Okay, they go 20 bands. Now spend 20 bands on your music. See where it gets you. It's gonna get you definitely further to what it was if you didn't have no fucking money. So let's start there. And then you just keep monopolizing on it. You know what I mean? Keep building on it, and going from there. Figure out ways to book your own shows. I just go all the way in it because I approach music a different way than the average. I started as a promoter. I started off learning the business. I know how much this artist wants. So since I know what this person wants, I know how much I need to sell these tickets for. I know how to price point. I know about product placement, how to make this shit sell. Then I see, okay, they like this type of artist. So I make music that's in the same lane as this artist. So how do I find a way to build this fan base where I can charge the same way? And that's just another little way that I, bring in an income as well.
So Nick, let's navigate back a little bit. And so, you gonna talk a little bit.
That's a bit.
You talk about the credit. Yes, we have to. But the skills that you teach at your seminar, are you teaching them to clean their credit score as well as erase it off their credit report as well?
Yeah, like we have tactics, and the thing is, when it comes to credit, like you have to be very particular how you word things, because what people don't understand is it's like you can't promise anybody anything when it comes to credit, because this is an actual debt that you did accrue. Like, unless it's identity theft or fraud, that's probably the only thing that we can that works in your favor. But outside of that, it's a debt that you have. Our tactics are pretty much the efforts that we put in to catch these creditors up. That's pretty much how this whole credit shit goes. You want to get shit removed, you're disputing between you, and it's the way that you dispute, it's the type of letters that you're sending, it's the type of attorneys' names that's on your letters. All that shit matters, and everybody got different sauces and different ways of doing things. And like I said, once we get the stuff off the actual credit, we teach you how to get the primaries, the trade lines, how to start building your credit up. And we know the lenders and we know the banks who pull different. Once you get scores certain levels, or once we get scores to a certain point, we know which banks and lenders to go to that pulls solely this report, and we know how much they'll give you based on how you structure the application. We walk you through the applications. We help you provide like documentation if you need that. We just give people the whole strip, and we charge for it. But at the end of the day, we don't make no money unless you make money. We
Right,
don't
right,
win
right,
unless you
right,
win.
right,
You know what
right.
I mean? So
So,
that's how we get into the into that bag.
So did
so
you
upon
learn things through like the actual banks to go to, the actual banks to do these things? Did you learn those things in college, or did you pick those things up? Did someone pour into you?
Listen, let me tell you what college do. College teaches you how to work for another person in a structural
that,
environment.
that's
It
all.
shows you
Definitely
how
does.
to coexist in another world, because you got to think you're going from grade school where you're on a combined schedule. Most schools, if I'm mistaken, and times haven't changed that drastically, you're going to school from 8 to 3 for the most part. So,
Mm-hmm.
and you're in a class, you're in a one combined area for 8 hours out of the day. When you go to college is the gap, the bridge between you and adulthood into the real workforce, to get you in the mindset of, let's all right, you have to wake yourself up. So get up. No one's here to wake you up. Set your alarm. Get up. You got class. But you don't have class all day. You have class on 2 days a week at this time for an hour. So you got to study on your own. You have to go to your own. Like, it teaches you how to um like figure shit out on your own and things like that. The shit that they teach you in college is stuff that you can go on Google and get. I didn't Google full tests. You can go on YouTube and learn about a lot of this stuff. And I do believe we're at a point now where we need more trade schools. We need more trade schools and things like that to help like people become more entrepreneurs. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Yeah.
Because I honestly, like I said, I'm trying to think the shit I learned in college. I don't even know, can't remember what I learned in college that I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember this in college. I remember the people I met in college. I remember the relationships I built. And I think that's something that's important. But and I also feel like it depends on the profession. Now, if you go into the healthcare, that's different. The medical field, that's definitely something that I feel like you may have to go to college. You have to study for those things and stuff like that. But in my line of work, entrepreneur, I don't believe you have to go to college for that. You can take classes. You can actually shadow a business owner. You know what I mean? A club
Mm-hmm.
owner or a CEO of a company. You can shadow them and learn. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But the stuff that I learned about credit and about business, trial and error, fuck up after fuck up. I knew I didn't want to have fucked up credit. So I said, all right, cool. How do I fix it? Then I just start reading up on shit, start asking questions and start looking at patterns and seeing what worked for me and what worked for others. And I started experimenting on my family members and shit, starting to pick like let me do your credit for free. Let me see what happens.
Right.
We had
Wow.
some trial and errors, and that's how it goes.
I
Those studies
remember
are
sitting back and thinking the same thing that you just said. Uh, when I was paying college back, when I was
oh,
calling the family place, and when I was, paying that $50,000, and I got it all the way down to 3,000, and decided to go back to college, and then they were like, no, because you only owe $3,000. I'm like, but what about the other 47,000 I just paid y'all? And it's really like I was upset about it. And then when I thought about it, and I thought about life, I think I learned more getting mentored and being like shadowing somebody and things like that. No one uses trigonometry in the world
yeah,
unless I guess if you're an engineer, or if
yeah.
you're
I think it's and
for
that's
certain
that's
type
the
of
in
things.
college,
Right.
if it was designed to, because you have a major, but if it was just like, let's just focus on your major, they be wanting you to take all this extra shit. You don't got to, like, why am I taking this? I don't want
Right.
to
But
do that. Like,
Man.
yeah, if I want to run a business, if I want to run a specific business, I want to run a hair salon or I want to run a restaurant. I think I need to holler at a restaurant owner. You know what I mean? Let
right.
me go holler at you. What did you do to get this? All right, cool. You got to fill out. You got to get your license. You got to get your business license. You got to get inspections. You got to go find a building. You got to go do this X Y Z. Like, that's some shit that you teach me that. That's where I need a rule book for that. This is what I want to do, and I think when you're doing stuff, what ends up happening is you start learning about yourself, then you start learning about other businesses. So it's like, okay, if you run a restaurant, now you know how the restaurant side is. What about if you open up a club? Maybe you can run a club now. But then now you didn't branch off to so many different businesses. All right, you run a club. Now you got an event space. So now you have 3 different businesses. They all 3 different fields, but it all started from this one, learning about this one business, open up your mind and open up the avenue to do this and that. I think that's way better than me going to college and spending fucking $100,000. God damn it. It's just, I don't know, man. It is what it is. Like my children, I want them to go to college because I
feel for something, and it's just like the way you just said it, the way you just structurize it, the way you put it down is exactly what is necessary for a person to get in where they need to be. And then by the time you're 30, 32, you're considered a master at it, opposed to doing something, going through life, being in college until you're 27 or 28, 25 maybe, and then starting your career or starting your, because it causes you to, it drags life out. The most amazing thing for me is to meet someone 25 years old, multi-millionaire, and retired because they wanted to. That's who I want to learn from. And people saying, well, they're at 25. I don't care if they're 12. If he retired at 12, I want to know, how did you do it? What triggered your brain to think, about whatever you thought about, whatever synopsis, whatever schematic, however you did it. What did you do to get you there? Because there's no reason in the world, and there's no way in the world that I'm going to be 59, 60, 69, beat up physically by doing whatever it is that I've been trying to do, where I also drive an 18-wheeler. I'm not jumping in and out of a truck in the next couple of years. I'm just not. Now, will I own a fleet of trucks? Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I set myself up to drive a fleet of trucks because I have a entrepreneur mind state and I know how to do it. But I had to start here, because how can I tell somebody to get in my truck and drive it and they don't know how? Or what if they don't come in? Somebody has to move their load. But in the meantime, in between time, I would be a PR for free. I would be in the industry for free, doing the things that I love to do, as far as taking people to the next level and watching them smile and showing them how to get there for free. And if I would do that for free, my thing was, what do I do and how do I get there? So I mentored for 7 years at a radio station, 7 years every day. Every day. I mean, all the time. I'm there all the time. Never asked for anything. I was picking up paper, doing all kind of stuff. And people were laughing at me like, you seem like you're her maid. Whatever it is I got to do, clean the tables off while she was doing her events and for these people who were huge. And then when I finally had my first client, the energies of the world decided that I was, creditable to have a gospel award-winning artist to be my first client. And I was amazed at that so many years ago. So everything that you're saying is totally correct. You being in the industry and messing your credit up and being honest, I love it. Being honest and out loud about that, because people don't think that you, who look like amazing $1 million, would have bad credit at one point in their life. People don't think that. They just think that you're just always doing. He couldn't have bad credit, or maybe he
This is what I can say, Nick. Every kid I know that went to college and obtained credit cards had bad credit.
Well,
no matter how they look.
In the industry. I mean, as far as him being in the industry, as far as you being a singer,
but even people in the industry, millionaires, still got bad credit. They still have bad credit. These rappers, a lot of these rappers, they can't even buy the houses that they want. Them houses that you see, a lot of these rappers, they're not even their names. And it's not that I'm not putting that in my name. No, motherfucker, you can't, because you don't have no structure. You know what I'm saying? You can't even fucking pass an eye exam.
Absolutely.
So it's like, but it is at the end of the day.
But our kids don't think that. That's what I'm saying. Our kids, the young kids, the millennials, well, not all of them, but some of them, the young kids just, they don't think they just, you know, because they do what they see. They do what they do what they see. If whatever the rappers are doing, whatever the singers are doing, that's what they want to do.
Yeah.
But they don't know the pain and the agony and the whatever that they went through to get there. And so that's what winding down is for. Winding down late night conversation is for people to come on like you and keep it funky and keep it real and let them know you get your ass beat before you get here. Like, you might get beat up. You better know how to stand up when you get beat up. And so that's what I love. And I appreciate you for coming on here telling them the truth, because people are listening to you. And, you know, if at the end of the story, you'll be able to give out whatever you need to get some people some information, so maybe they can sign up for your credit class or your, you know, to even, I mean, because how many people knew about trade lines?
Shit, I don't even know. I still have people now that don't know that's in their 40s and their 50s. They don't even know what a trade line is, and I don't hold it against them. I feel like, once again, it all goes back to the situation earlier when we say it's like people, they don't know, but it's like they don't go to find out because they haven't been required. And if you guys know anything, like in regards to like how it is when you make somebody treat you, a person don't know how to treat you if they don't know what if you don't tell them. You have to teach a person how to treat you, and then on top of that, you gotta allow a motherfucker to understand that, hey, if you ain't required this, why would I change? I haven't been required to have good credit. Some people's mindset is I pay cash for everything. I snap on anybody that pays cash. I always, any of my friends, I'm about to cash on this card. Don't do that dumbass shit. What are you cashing out? What's the point? Oh, I want to pay no note. Well, all right. Well, come here. Let me holler at you. Put that money in the escrow account. You got since you like to spend all your money, put the whole fucking $30,000 in escrow account. Go take out the loan. Build your credit up. Use your credit. Use your money as leverage. Build credit up with it. You feel me? And make money on top of it. You know what I mean? It's just little things that I'll be knowing when I see people about to make a move. I'd be like, damn, come on. You pay what, $2,000 a month in rent, and your credit is a 680, sir. Let's go get you a house. Let's go get you a house tomorrow.
Sorry.
Okay, let's get you a house tomorrow. Let's get off this. Let's be a big boy now. All my friends are homeowners, and it's like, hey, let's get it, because we did this already. We all lived in the same crib. All my mans and them, everybody got their own cribs. 6 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms. It's like, hey, nigga, let's live like real kings out here. Because at the end of the day, it's like, shit, we in our own way. Ain't nobody in our way. Come on.
You tell the truth about that. That's fact.
I think that's part of the reason. You want to go ahead?
Go ahead.
All right. I think that's part of the reason why I started like my nonprofit organization, because I used to be a teacher. I used to teach in the elementary school system. I used to teach middle school, high school, and I started the organization because they wasn't teaching them those life skills that they, you know, to help them, you know, do what they want to do. So I basically started Kidpreneur Academy is what I call it, and basically teaching them how to start their own businesses at a younger age. So by the time they do graduate high school, they got everything that they need pretty much. So
yeah, I'm about to tap in with you on that too, because I don't think I'm familiar with that. Hey, you learn from everybody. That's how I am. I allow myself to be coached or at least hear everybody out. You know what I mean? If it's a situation that I'm not good at, because I don't know everything. So what I do is, if I don't know, I'll ask. I have no problem with that. You know, and I don't probably have I think that's the most important thing, being humble enough to seek knowledge. A lot of us be kind of nervous. You don't want to ask because you be thinking like, you think you're supposed to know something because of your age, so you don't ask. And you will go years without knowing because you felt that you were too old to ask, and you should have just asked, and you would have got the answer, and then it would have changed your life. But people got to get out of that. Like, people be in their own ways.
Yes, and so, I know. I'm sorry.
So Nick, let's talk about the trade line. So, say with the corporate structure of understanding trade lines, and a person get their first line of business credit for $30,000, and myself, with me knowing about trade lines, I would advise them to invest about $8,000 of that $30,000 back into the trade line. So upon another 90 to 145 days, they'll be able to get another line of credit for about 70 grand. And
No,
go ahead.
no, I said I like the idea. I think anything now. So I want to make sure I understand what you're asking or what you're telling me.
What I'm telling you is, I had a conversation with a rich white dude at a bar and a young black girl at a bar. And instead of talking about the game, they was talking about trade lines. He was drinking cognac, and she was drinking pineapple Ciroc. And so, and of course I was drinking Long Island. So the white guy started talking about, he asked you, what type of business you have? I said, entertainment. She said, I'm into credit repair business funding. And so upon her being into the business funding, he said, well, let me give you some game that white people have been doing for hundreds of years. And she said, what's that? He said, well, if you understand the business credit, you understand the trade lines. She said, how much do you tell your people to invest back into the trade line? She said, well, maybe about 2,500. He said, they're failing every time. He said they need to invest about 8 grand back into the trade lines. So they double up on the line of credit they'll get upon the next 90 to 145 days. So if you got 30,000 on your first time, if you invest so much back into the trade lines, you automatically double up and get anywhere from 70K to 80K. And he said you put another 8 grand back when you get that 70K, and the next time you'll get about 170K. He said so.
I'm trying to make sure I understand. So for business credit, you got the trade lines, and you got the net 30 accounts, all this shit, and you got your you got your you know what I'm saying, you got your what's the goddamn score? Your payback score. So from what I'm understanding, what you're saying is more so in the aspect of, as soon as you get a trade line or you get a primary, because that's when it comes to business credit, from what I've understood and what my mentor, my partners have told me, is having trade lines and having them primaries. So you got the primary on the business line, you go get a credit card, or you go get a line of credit or a loan for 30K. Out of that 30K, you take about 8,000 and you invest into building the business credit up some more by adding more trade lines and more primaries, which will ultimately strengthen the whole credit profile, because business credit is based on profile. From what I learned, it's how your shit looks. Sometimes it's not. It don't really matter. I ain't gonna say don't matter, but it's not driven on scores a lot of times. Like, your credit score don't have to be a 700. If your payback score is in the 90s, you pretty much gonna get approved for pretty much any fucking thing and the max.
And so what happens, man, upon your business portfolio being like phenomenal, so upon you having that financial advisor that pushes your business portfolio, and that's how you have this a tech company from somewhere like the Czech Republic to contact you and tell you that they want to invest 1.5 million in your business, or they want to invest 5.7 million in your business because you built that portfolio. And that's when all these other businesses come at you and say, we want to invest in your company. We want to help take your company to the next level. And we want to start with a check for 1.5 million.
Oh yeah, see. Yeah, you dropping some shit. I'm up here looking for my damn charge on my phone on 2%. Let's find this shit for y'all real quick.
Yeah, so that those trade lines and those primaries are really big business, man. Really big business, man.
And you right on point with that, though. I ain't gonna cap. You right on point. That's why I'm constantly trying to, like, learn as much as possible about business credit, just so I'm able to put myself and my colleagues in position to win.
So, have you started promoting your club in Atlanta yet?
No.
As far as promotions, as far as The name?
No, we haven't even started because we're still getting like a lot of the legal stuff together. So when you get a club, honestly, when you start a business in general, you're gonna always run into hiccups. That's just the game. But what ended up happening was when we acquired the space, it was so much stuff left from the old building. So that held us up a lot. So because of that situation, we ended up it just delayed the process for the most part. It delayed the process. So now we're in a position now where we're trying to get just a little bit more stuff. The building was already built out. It was already built out. They had took some stuff out of it though. They had some stuff in. We ended up buying out the previous renter at that time. We bought them out of all the stuff that they had in there because it was already a restaurant that was about to be there, and they ended up falling through. So we came in, swooped it, and like I said, we just handling like all the business stuff now.
So, upon you getting this restaurant, did the previous owners leave it in a good enough shape for y'all to pass inspection and coding?
Well, they had already passed a lot of stuff already, but pandemic happened. Then the issue happened with some between the landlord and the person who was renting it. They had a disagreement. So my business partner actually owns the club that's next door to the one that we're doing. His is more so on the strip club side. Ours is going to be more on the urban nightclub side and lounge vibes. So once he gave us that building, he had a lot of stuff was already like in motion because he had stuff going for the other spot. So he was filing all the business information as like a DBA under the parent company. So we were getting like, liquor license under there. We was getting just a lot of the stuff that was waived, a lot of the coding and things like that was getting waived and stuff like that. But when you have a building, even if you got like, because the most recent shit we just had to deal with, we had to pay $18,000 for lights because it was an outstanding light bill through Georgia Power. So that was like a hiccup, you know what I mean? So when you got stuff like that going on, it's like, damn, it changes the trajectory of what you got going on. And like I said, this shit been stressing me out. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah, I can imagine, brother. I can imagine, man.
Yeah.
Cause upon doing that, then you got your music as well, man. So, with you having the tour coming up on March 11th, man. Have you and Eric already did some music together?
No, we haven't. Well, I was texting him earlier. He actually has a song with an artist in Detroit that I'm really close to, and I was supposed to be on that record, but he just finally got it cleared, and I was trying to have him, slide me a little verse on that motherfucker. But me and Eric gonna connect because Eric is he's one of my favorite artists. Like even beyond
dope,
his
man.
tour, yeah, I listen to Eric. I've been listening to Eric since 2013. So yeah, I'm going about 9 years. 9 years I've listened to Eric Bellinger.
Yeah.
So
He's been in business a long time, man. He's been in business for a while.
Seeing him get his flowers, and seeing him, find the success that he's found, I fucks with it, man. I support it so much because he's, like I said, he's so talented.
Yeah.
And like I said, hopefully something comes out of it. I got a lot of other stuff brewing for myself. You know what I mean? So I don't be too much caught up on, not getting this record with this artist or that artist because I just know I'm constantly working. So
yeah, I see you got a song coming out with my boy Pleasure P. I know them very well. When I lived in Fort Lauderdale, I used to mess with Baby Blue like that. Met him in Foot Locker in North Miami, and he started following me on Twitter. So he hit me up on Twitter one day. He said, "Man, come and fuck with me, man. I got a rooftop party. It's jumping." So I went to the rooftop party, and listen, man, it was.
I already know how they boys get. They
listen,
wild.
man,
I love them though, man.
That was on a whole different level. Whole different level, man. But that music business, man. So I want you to talk about something that me and indie artists get into it about a lot, bro. And I'm gonna just let you know.
Okay.
Me and any artist have a lot of knockdown, drag out discussion about marketing dollars.
All right.
About and they don't. So I tell any artist, man, with marketing dollars, man, you definitely got to have some type of budget, man. And a lot of them don't believe me when I tell them $5K per quarter is a very small budget in the music business. Very small.
$5K per quarter. Oh my God.
Very
I think I
small.
spend. Yeah, you said per quarter. That's crazy. I spend I think I spend like 15,000 a month.
Wow. And that sounds normal.
Yeah.
And
That
that's my
sounds
own
like
that's
you're trying
my
to get
own money. That's no label, anything. I just think about everything I got like between like radio budget, social media influencers, social media marketing, between just ads on Facebook and on
PRs,
Twitter
everybody.
and on Facebook, YouTube, Google, and Instagram. Then paying people to shout you out, that shit that costs money. And just
It all
coming up
costs
with
money.
content. Yeah, everything costs money, honestly. Everything
Yeah,
costs
man.
money.
No, so when they be like, "Well, Mr. Jacob, man, I don't know why you call me left hand." I say, I came at you left hand, right hand, like whatever, bro. Like, man, if you telling me that 5K per quarter is too much, and Baz, I hate to tell you, man, this might not be the lane that you want to go in.
It's tough.
Maybe you should go to a tech school and become a pharmacy tech or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like this is not your lane. Like, because when I tell somebody from Def Jam and where they ask me, well, how much do they spend every quarter on music marketing? And they said 5K. They be like, Jacob, if you don't get your ass off my phone, and you need to tell them don't ever call you again about music ever. Like, I was on the phone with Nicole, and I let her hear a conversation that me and my mentor Roderick Cheatham had. Tell him, Nicole, what he said. Tell him. Go ahead, tell him.
Right.
He said to bring someone in. Someone like Mary, to bring someone like Mary in is like 70 bands for her to do 4 minutes on stage. So if you need $70,000, and that's what Mary's charging. Mary J. Blige,
70,000 a year, or 70,000 when? Per quarter?
No, 70,000 to show up.
70,000 for a 15-minute set, 20-minute set.
For a 15 or 20-minute set, and you need 4 of those people up there, and you got to have some money. I don't know about the music management or things like that. I'm a PR.
But she actually heard him talking to me,
about the money side of the deal, and I was just
about a show we was gonna do, and and she was just like, wow, like, cause it's certain people won't budge, man, and then he be cursing me out about these indie artists, bro, cause he my mentor, man. When I tell you he snap on me like it's nobody's business, and it's like he just like, man, they told you that they can't afford 5K per quarter. He said, man, they should be giving you $5,000 a week.
Oh, I forgot about DJs. Oh my Lord.
So your manager, so on and so forth. When did you? First and foremost, I want to give a shout out to someone that I've never met this person before, but if I could have ever met them, his name is Clarence Avant. I know you guys know him. The man with the plan, the man who was the connector for all the people in the music industry. I think his name is Clarence Avant, isn't it? Yeah. I watched a documentary on him today, and he's an older man now, whatever. But if I could have that strategy that he had to bring people together and to make things happen and to make sure that people have money in their pockets, like the indie artists, because if I'm not mistaken, doesn't every artist start off an indie artist?
They do. Yeah, they do.
Everyone
you're right.
starts off as
Yeah,
an indie artist. I mean,
yeah.
and it's the thing that makes the difference between an indie artist and, I mean, I don't know if you want to call it a label artist, is if you sign a label or not. That's the only thing that makes the difference, right?
A mainstream artist and indie artist. The
Yeah, well, we
I
say
mean,
I'll say mainstream because mainstream you could be a artist on a major label, but you're not mainstream. So you got indie artists. Indie just means you're not signed to a major label. That's
That
what
right.
all you
indie
Well,
got,
is.
okay,
all
so
you got.
that's what I know is that's the part that I know. That's the part that I know what indie means. But in my mind, I would say that everyone who starts as an artist is an indie artist.
That's true.
The
Yeah.
only thing that makes you a difference is if you get picked up or not, right?
Right.
Or if you want to
So
sign the deal.
right. So
Am I right?
upon you saying that, Nicole, the question is Nick Lavelle looking for artists?
So not really. This how I am. If I hear some shit, no matter who it's from, I'm gonna check it out. I like it. I'm. It's like when it comes to music, it's so hard to give your energy to another artist when you're still going up. I feel like it's not fair to that artist because I'm gonna always be trying to put myself first. And I feel like they need the best situation for them. If I see an artist and I like their music, I may hop on the record and I'll help market the record and help get it out there because I'm a part of it and I think it'll be a dope vibe and I think the situation makes sense. But I wouldn't sign the artist with me. The only person I'm signing is my daughter. Goddamn. Because
Well, Nick,
I can't
this what I'm
control shit
saying.
else. I control her
I,
ass.
I
And
understand
that's
what
what
you're
I
saying,
love it. I love
but
it.
this is what I'm gonna say about that. A bright indie artist, an indie artist with an intellectual presence. They'll
Yeah.
be like, all right, Mr. Nick, I understand that, but I need you to give me a shot just because it's reach one, teach one. And I
Yeah.
feel like I can learn so much from you. And so if you just let me learn from you, I'll show you that it's not a bad decision. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's
That's
some
the
cat,
see,
it's
that's
some cat,
different.
man, they want that because you already been out there. So it's so much they haven't seen that you can teach them. So with that being said, they just want to give you this look. They want to see that look in your eyes. Be like, man, this artist is dope. I'm glad I took a chance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the difference between a regular artist and an artist that comes with that mindset. I'm gonna learn everything I can from this man because this man is gonna take me where I need to be, and I know that it's gonna work out. That's a different
Yeah.
mindset.
Yeah, that's different. Now that's like I said, that's different. And and
So
with situations like that, everything is subjective. So or else everything is situational. So whatever
when
makes sense.
mm-hmm,
We kind of move
sure.
off that.
So when you went from Detroit to Atlanta, was it just because of music or was it
It
because
was
of
more
school?
ultimately it was the lifestyle living in Atlanta. I feel like I can. It's more me. Detroit's a little bit more reserved. You're limited a little bit in Detroit
Yeah,
as far as the
yeah, I agree.
opportunities, especially for R&B. It's not really there's not really a market or a lane for it unless you're mainstream. And then it's like,
Hmm.
okay, cool, we can come back to Detroit, but it's not somewhere I want to live. The cost of living is cheaper in Georgia. Insurance is cheaper for cars and shit, and then the
Hmm.
weather is way better.
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
just to me it was a better situation for me. So that's why I looked at the overall aspect, and then me also being in the acting, it was opportunity because they're number two in film right now. Number three
Absolutely.
in well, they're number two in music and number two in film. So
Hmm
all the stars
Atlanta is
aligned for me.
definitely the hottest place. I moved to Atlanta before, and that was definitely on my agenda again. I had to come back. I came back, but I'm also a Chicago actress, and did casting calls, and actually flew in to Atlanta. When I made the decision to move to Atlanta, I flew in and did a series of. I did start off with stage plays, gospel stage plays. So we were doing a series of stage plays over the weekend. So I definitely understand about the area and just the vibe in Atlanta is just everybody got something going on in Atlanta. Everybody got something going on in Atlanta. So it's kind of hard to decipher. I guess if you really know your stuff and you really are who you say you are, you can decipher like what's real and what's not. Because everybody can't obviously be an actor. Everybody can't obviously be a radio host. Everybody can't obviously be an R&B. When you did that transition, did you bump into that? Did you have to go through that mess?
Yeah, I mean, I still go through it now. Trying to figure out pick a side. Because when you're a promoter and you're throwing events, a lot of the artists that you book, they're looking at you. They don't look like it was funny because I was the first person to bring the City Girls to Michigan when they first was hot. This is actually when JT was still locked up. So it was just Young Miami. And I remember her DJ Reimer, he's watching, I just paid them the back end, but they're getting ready to go on stage, but I stopped. Like right before they go on, I went on and performed because that was my way of doing it. It's like I book artists and I put myself on the bill with them. So I steal the fan base because they coming out for this person. And now they probably coming out for me. A little couple people coming out for me because I'm a local talent. So I'm the one that's spending all the money on the radio marketing. So when I go to the radio stations, I'm doing the interviews and I'm meeting the PDs and the radio hosts and stuff like that because I'm the person that's putting the money up. So I'm not only am I making money on the shows, I'm also performing. And it was just crazy because a lot of the artists would see like, wait a minute, ain't that the same nigga that paid me to come here? He do music? Wow, kind of crazy. So they'd be a little bit more like shocked and kind of like impressed. That's kind of smart. So it helps my relationship because now that I'm doing music at the level that I'm doing it, I still have these relationships with these managers, with these artists, because they remember me from when they first started out and I booked them. I was paying them the price they was asking for. So it was a tough transition, but now I'm full blown mark. Like music is good, and the good thing about acting is I hear that they love artists. They love
Yeah,
having artists
yeah,
as actors. That's something
Absolutely.
yeah.
that
They
they
do,
really, really thrive off
They
of.
do. They do. 50
especially in
Shades
the
of
'80s.
Grey. Ice Cube
Especially
Yeah,
in the
changed the
definitely.
game in acting. Like some people who are in the industry as far as music. And when I say music, I mean R&B, I mean rap, I mean, music. Like, Ice Cube changed the game. You know, a lot of
Will
people
Smith.
50 Will Smith. We can go way back, way before those.
Yeah.
Those are just the ones at the top of my cerebellum that I just thought of right away. But Will Smith, a lot of people, um, I don't know. I mean, we can name a billion of them maybe, but they would say that acting is where it's at, opposed to
Yeah.
and that's where the money is, opposed to the music industry. Um,
But
when
one thing about it,
it comes,
you
what are you gonna choose?
you'll never see Jay-Z act. You ain't got to worry about that, brother.
I mean, he
Nah.
did. He acted in a couple. He acted in a
I
couple
mean,
I
movies.
mean, I mean,
he
bro.
put his face out there.
You know what I'm saying when I see act, I'm
But
talking
no,
about
no.
like
It ain't like you said. It's not for
Q,
everybody.
like Q, LL, like Jay-Z is
Yeah,
the
but
type of person, man.
Ice Cube went crazy with it. But
Yeah,
honestly,
he
I just want to go wherever God feels the best situation for me. That's
right,
honestly
right,
what it comes
right.
down to. Because it's like
Yeah,
I do what yeah, if he wants me to do music and then eventually go into acting or the acting takes over, whatever path you go. I just want to be successful. I just want to continue the success. You
yeah.
know what I mean? And I wouldn't have a problem with either one of them. They both bring you the same image or same type of popularity and celebrity instance. So, it wouldn't
And you
matter to me.
definitely got the look.
See,
Definitely got the you got both. You got the look, like you got the
I'm a little
whole.
rough right now.
No, well, I mean, you got the look though. If you're rough right now, you look great. I mean, I could definitely see the Tyler Perry has going on, or on BET for sure. The BET experience, BET Plus, um, all those things. I can definitely see you on that playing one of those roles. Any role, whether it's detective or whether it's the gangster role. You got the look to do all, to do it. So I can definitely see that. I can definitely vibe with the fact that you, wherever you go, and just, you respecting it. I respect the talent in you because that's talent. If you can do both, teach a child, do credit, know the process, that's talent. And so I respect the talent in you, and that's what I love. That's what I love. And I want to have you back again because we're down to the count. We're at 11, 12. We don't have to shut it down. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to shut it down, we don't have to shut it down, but we're 12 minutes over. We can definitely keep rolling. I always give the people opportunity. We can keep kicking it, keep vibing.
I gotta get some more stuff together because, like I said, the tour is 2 weeks away, less than 2 weeks. But I got my daughter. I gotta get up early and take her to school. So
absolutely,
I gotta hit the gym.
When you said that, I wanted to say to make sure.
I just want to say this, Nick. I just want to say you're in the right place right now, because in the greater Atlanta metropolitan area, they're looking for the next big R&B to get the keys to of the city. So they're definitely looking for that. So you're definitely in the right place. So you know what I mean. So I wish you the best. I want you to make the best of it, bro. And I'm rooting for you, man. And you know we'll see each other for sure.
Definitely. I appreciate y'all for having me too, man. It's definitely a blessing. You know what I mean? Always connecting with great-minded individuals, especially that look like, like us. So,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Definitely a blessing, man.
That's what I want to know. The
but
next
yeah, we
want
to stay tuned. I'm going to definitely try to get y'all some information on the tour. So, possibly get y'all some tickets, some media passes, something like that.
Okay. I will already be at your Sacramento one, so I'm already going to be there.
Hold on 1 second. 1 second before you go, sir. 1 second before you go.
What you got?
1 second. Yeah, we got some things here. Next thing.
Tell me what is really going on.
Oh my goodness. Yes, we're gonna ask you, could you sing? What we have here.
Stop spraying me with water.
Where is it at? I am upset right now. If we can find it. I can't find it right now. Lord, I don't know what I did with it. I don't know what I did. I think I misplaced it. But let me tell you something about Exquisite PR firm and this business thing. We have credentials. So me, my staff, and anybody that encounters me or touches me, we're going to be able to get in any place we want to because we're pressed out from government down to music, okay? So if you could get us a press pass to come in, if you could get us a press, we got to bring your press pass, our press pass, and that's how we're going to roll out for you because that's an important thing. One thing that's very important about being in this realm, in this PR realm, is first of all, PR is hard, really, really hard, but you want to be lined up with the best, connected to the best, and definitely respect the art of the client or the art of the R&B person. So I try to keep us well equipped so that we can make sure that we're wherever to cover you guys wherever you're at, because we definitely love music, we love rap, and we definitely love business people.
That's a fact. Fact.
So I really had a good time tonight, and I know you got to get your daughter to school. I understand. I feel that. I'm going to say have a good night. Tell people where they can find you at and where they can find your stuff at, your music at, your business link. Give it to them.
Yo, it's your boy Nick Lavelle. You can tap in with me at It's Nick Lavelle 1 on all social media platforms. Download Bad Bitch, what I'm saying, on all music streaming platforms. And matter of fact, download all the music. Listen to something. Give a nigga a stream, a share, a like, a repost. Hey, I'm very fortunate, appreciative, whatever happens. You know what I mean? So let's lock in all the way.
Absolutely. Anybody else?
Peace and blessings, my brother.
All right, my baby.
Blessings.
I'll see y'all soon for sure.
Absolutely. Talk to you soon.
All right, talk to you soon. Have a good night.
Bye. That what you got?